A London research firm just published a report saying there's an increasingly credible probability of a global crisis peaking in 2027, centered on China invading Taiwan to control the chips that make AI possible. I personally think maybe they should just try asking nicely and saying please first, but what do I know? Meanwhile, Elon Musk is acting like he's finally reached his terrible twos by demanding $1 trillion and threatening to withhold his robot army unless shareholders give him strong influence over it. Google proved quantum computing is real 13,000 times faster than the world's most powerful supercomputer. Glad it wasn't only 12,000 times faster. That would have been a disaster up there with burning my grilled cheese sandwich the other night. And SoftBank just approved another $22.5 billion for OpenAI, but only if they go public first. That's right. They'll need OpenAI to go public first so they can make more money off of them because their shares will be more valuable. It's kind of like saying, I'll marry you, but only if you sign a prenup and get a full STD panel first. This brings SoftBank's total bet to $30 billion on a company that won't be profitable until 2029, if then. Welcome back to the 2027 arms race, where everyone's sprinting towards artificial superintelligence while two nuclear powers prepare to fight over the island that makes the chips. It's like a game of musical chairs, except the music is air raid sirens and the chairs are booby-trapped. Before we dive into the apocalypse, if you haven't already, hit that like button below and subscribe. Now, don't subscribe again if you have, then that'll unsubscribe you. I'm still in YouTube's doghouse if you care, and every like tells the algorithm that Uncle Rod deserves another chance. Poor Uncle Rod. Plus, it makes me feel a little better about, documenting civilization's collapse. Be sure to share this with someone who needs to understand why their electricity bill is about to fund World War III. All right, let's go. Sibylline, I don't know. Have some friggin' Bob's company. A London strategic research firm just dropped a paper predicting a polycrisis peaking in 2027. The center of this crisis, Taiwan, specifically Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. Yes, that's the TSMC you hear a lot about. You hear TSMC, well, it stands for Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. They make 90% of the world's advanced semiconductors. So naturally, China wants it. The paper's authors, Olson, Leatherdale, and Crump, kind of sounds like a firm that specializes in mesothelioma cases, lays out the stakes. China has told the People's Liberation Army to be militarily ready for Taiwan by 2027. U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, which is probably IPAC, expects a Taiwan conflict in the same time frame. Why 2027? Because that's when the race gets decisive. The report cites research predicting supercoders arriving by 2027 and AI systems efficient enough to pave the way for ASI, artificial superintelligence, by 2028. IBM's vision of ASI, highly developed thinking skills more advanced than any human. The economists state superintelligence would have access to every idea to be had, including building the best robots, rockets, and reactors. Well, hell yes, that's what I'd want, not something stupid like solving the world hunger or the housing crisis for the homeless. China's calculus, according to Sibylline, blockade Taiwan before 2027, choke U.S. chip access, secure AI supremacy, then block or impede anyone else from developing superintelligence. The chip supply becomes a weapon. You control TSMC, you control who gets to build the most advanced AI systems, and control the future. The paper also lists other things that could happen at the same time, just to make things interesting. Russia creating a crisis within NATO territory. Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz, North Korea attacking South Korea and the U.S., political fracturing across the U.S. and Europe, denial of global trade routes, severing supply chains. Silicon Valley's response to this cheerful forecast? Spend more money, spend more money faster. American capital expenditure into AI will exceed $1 trillion between 2025 and 2027. That's not a typo, $1 trillion in 2 years, racing toward a deadline where the chip supply might get cut off by a military invasion. The paper concludes the probability of a systemic global crisis peaking in 2027 is increasingly credible. Cool. So we've got 2 years, we got like 14 months before potential World War III over microchips. And the tech industry's plan is to go all in like an NBA player at a rigged poker table. Speaking of going all in, Elon Musk just made the most unhinged compensation of man in corporate history. On a Tesla earnings call Wednesday with investors listening in, Musk said, "My fundamental concern with regard to how much voting control I have at Tesla is, if I go ahead and build this enormous robot army, can I just be ousted at some point in the future?" Elon Musk, on a public investor call, used the phrase enormous robot army, and his main concern is corporate governance, not will the robots cause mass unemployment, not should I be building this, not what are the societal implications, not if are the robots going to kill us all. No, his worry is, what if the board fires me before I finish my robot army? This is Bond villain shit, except the villain is demanding stock options instead of world dominations. It's like Blofeld saying, "No, Mr. Bond, I don't expect you to die. I expect you to invest." All Elon needs is a freaking white cat with a diamond necklace around its neck and setting on his lap. He continued, "If we build this robot army, do I have at least a strong influence over this robot army? Not control, but strong influence. I don't feel comfortable building that robot army unless I have at least a strong influence." The man wants $1 trillion over the next 10 years, increasing his stake from 13% to 25%, and he's holding the robot army hostage to get it. Sounds like extortion with PowerPoint slides. Sounds like you got me tied down with battleship chains, 50 foot long and a 2-ton anchor. The deal is conditional on hitting metrics including 20 million vehicles delivered, 1 million robo-taxis in operation, $8.5 trillion valuation for the company, and 1 million Optimus humanoid robots delivered. Tesla shareholders vote on this in November. The ballot basically reads, give Elon $1 trillion or he won't build the robot army. Also, he might tank the stock. Also, he's already making this threat public. Your call. But here's the funny part. Musk describes Optimus, and I think we had this in one of our episodes, he describes Optimus as an infinite money glitch. An infinite money glitch. He added, humans working will be optional, like growing your own vegetables instead of buying them from the store. Optimus will create a world where there's no poverty, where everyone has access to the finest medical care. And you can paint those pretty little clouds. They live in the sky. Yeah, right, because when robots do all the work, everyone definitely gets paid and has access to health care. That's historically how automation works, right? Just ask all those factory workers whose jobs got outsourced. They're thriving in their vegetable gardens right now, living their best lives, totally not dependent on food stamps, which are about to dry up because their government keeps calling in sick. Musk also said, imagine if everyone had access to an incredible surgeon. Optimus will be an incredible surgeon. Brother, most people can't afford a human surgeon. 30 million Americans don't have health insurance. Medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy in this country. But sure, hey, the robot surgeon will definitely be accessible to everyone. Yeah, you remember those little rides outside grocery stores when we were kids, the horse, maybe the merry-go-round or the race car. You drop a quarter in the slot and it tilts and twirls for 30 seconds, and that was it while your mom stood there and looked at you. Well, now it will be mechanical surgeons outside your grocery store. You stick a quarter in, drop your pants, and have your hernia operation before the milk gets warm. It's like saying, once we invent teleportation, everyone will be able to afford Paris vacations. Cool theory. Meanwhile, back in reality, people are rationing toilet paper. Meanwhile, the information reported that Tesla is scaled down Optimus production plans over the summer. They'd set internal goals for 5,000 units this year, but backed off. On Wednesday's call, Musk admitted Tesla is still struggling with the challenge of building humanoid hands and forearms. So the robots can't fold laundry yet, but Elon wants $1 trillion to control the robot army. Musk posted in July that Tesla should be worth $20 trillion, more than 5 times NVIDIA's current value. Based on what? Robots that don't have hands and arms? Robo-taxis that still need safety drivers? An affordable car he canceled to keep his stock prices up? A gigafactory that produces more hype than vehicles? This is confidence game capitalism. The product doesn't matter, as we're finding out in our episodes. The business model doesn't matter. Reality doesn't matter. The stock price is what matters. And if the board won't give him $100 trillion to control the robot army, he'll take his toys and take the company and go play somewhere else. While Elon's holding Tesla hostage, the responsible AI companies are quietly going absolutely insane. It's Big Eddie's sale. I'm totally insane. Google and Anthropic just announced a cloud deal worth tens of billions of dollars. The deal gives Anthropic access to up to 1 million of Google's custom tensor processing units. It's well over a gigawatt of AI compute capacity coming online in 2026. So let me remind you, Anthropic, they were founded by people who left OpenAI because they thought OpenAI was moving too fast and being reckless with AI safety. These are the responsible AI people, the ones who said, whoa, slow down, let's think about this, let's be careful, let's not race to superintelligence like maniacs. And they just signed for a gigawatt of computing power. For context, that's roughly the output of a nuclear power plant. It's also about the same amount of power Doc Brown needed to send Marty McFly back to the future, which, kind of feels appropriate given that Anthropic is apparently time traveling past all of their safety concerns. The "we're concerned about AI safety" company just contracted for nuclear reactor levels of computing power. That's not really responsible AI. We're responsible right up until someone offers a gigawatt, then screw it, let's race. The whole founding story of Anthropic was OpenAI is going too fast. We need to slow down and think about safety. And now they're signing deals for a gigawatt of compute to race toward the same finish line. It's an AI safety equivalent of, Alcohol Anonymous holding their meetings at Anheuser-Busch. Meanwhile, Google also just announced they proved quantum computing isn't theoretical anymore. Their Willow processor, 105 qubits, right, what's a qubit, ran molecular simulations 13 times faster than Frontier, the world's most powerful supercomputer. Error rate, 0.1%. This is the first time that quantum computing has crossed from theory to testable reality, according to the Nature paper. So while everyone's racing to build AI before China invades Taiwan in 2027, Google casually drops that they've invented a completely different form of computing that's faster than anything else on Earth. Nothing accelerates an arms race quite like proving there's a fundamentally faster way to compute. And here's the thing, quantum computing doesn't just make things faster. It makes entirely new classes of problems solvable. Cryptography that takes classical computers thousands of years to crack, quantum computers can do it in minutes. So now we've got a 2027 deadline, everyone racing to artificial superintelligence, and Google just proved there's a technology that makes the race 13,000 times faster. Great, perfect. Nothing could possibly go wrong there. This is the race. This is what they're doing, betting everything on reaching artificial superintelligence before China invades Taiwan and cuts off the chips that make superintelligence possible. Whoever gets there first wins total economic, military, and geopolitical dominance. Everyone else becomes irrelevant. Winner takes all. Loser gets to be a historical footnote. And if that invasion happens, if China blockades Taiwan in 2027, like the research predicts, then every company racing to spend trillions on AI infrastructure will discover they bet everything on a supply chain that just got severed by military force. All those data centers, useless without new chips. All that compute capacity, can't upgrade it. All those plans for artificial superintelligence, stuck at whatever level you reached before the shooting started. But don't worry, nothing to worry about. Elon Musk will have his robot army. He'll have control, strong influence at a minimum. He demanded it publicly while admitting the robot's hands don't work right. I think I saw that episode on Big Bang Theory, the one where Howard builds a robot hand that won't let go of his wee-wee. He has to go to the emergency room. That was a good one. Welcome to the 2027 arms race, where everyone's sprinting toward the cliff. The guy in front is demanding $1 trillion to maintain strong influence over his robot army that can't fold laundry. The responsible AI companies just signed for a gigawatt, and SoftBank is betting $30 billion that OpenAI can restructure, go public, and reach superintelligence before two nuclear powers go to war over an island. We've got roughly 14 months left before we'll all need to get under our desks. And if that doesn't work, you can always stop, drop, and roll. I'll see you in the next episode.